Okay, let's do this. Very good. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're doing all great as we are approaching the weekend. I must admit I have kind of a headache today. Last night the French soccer team played against Croatia. They won 4-2, but the game started at 9 o'clock. I had a bunch of friends come over, and I must say I am hungover today. Game ends at 11 o'clock, so you can imagine what state I am and how I'm feeling today. But anyways, let's go to the computer here, and let's take a look at a quick recap of what we did yesterday. So yesterday, what did we do? Well, we worked on this background. Day before yesterday, we did the drawing of our main person, and then we put yesterday first a coat, actually 2 coats of purple and then yellow. And then with the knife, we've added shadows and textures to first the purple and then the yellow. And that's what we have, and that's where we are at today. So I am just going to zoom in on this so you can kind of see up close, basically what it did. And you can tell here there's a lot of texture, a lot of different colors. If you're in the right spot, you can see even a little bit of gold that shines through in certain places. Anyways, it came out very nicely. So, as I mentioned, this is just the background. What we are going to do today is that we are going to mask off this entire area. We're going to mask off the person, and I am going to do my kind of 3-branch splattering of a plant. And then as that is dry, probably tomorrow, we will add little splattered flowers on top of that. That will be the background. After that, obviously, we'll do this person. Then we're going to do another ring around here in black with a little details on that to make it look nicer. And then eventually we are going to have to get back and finish off our frame. So enough talk today. It's going to be kind of, well, not tedious, but not going to be any painting. It's basically just going to be masking off. So I'm going to go back over here where I have my newspapers. And we are going to then, like I said, mask off most of everything, put the painting down on the ground, and then we're going to splatter our 3-branch plant, which is going to be in turquoise. So anyways, that's what I saw, and that's what we're going to be working on. So I'm not going to waste any more time, and I am going to go ahead and mask off this main person. And I think I can just use tape to hide that person because he's not all that big. I don't see any point of putting newspapers here. So let me see if this will work out for me or not. I mean, we don't have to be all that precise, of course, because we can always catch what we need afterwards. The main thing is not to get really any splattering on the main guy. If there's a little gap, we can always fill that gap in with a paintbrush. So it's really no big deal. So let me just continue with this masking here. Like that, it'll be a short stream. As we wait for everything to dry, there's not much we can do. Look at that, that's working out pretty nice. Now, when I first started off doing this masking technique, I used to cut out every little detail to like within a 1/16 of an inch to finally realize that there was no really point in doing that. There was other ways, much easier ways of doing that. The masking. I'm going to cover that up a little bit more. Get that in like that. I do have some scissors right here. And I am going to be a little more precise just to do the contrary of what I just said. God damn it. I hate working with these kind of tapes. They always tear when you don't want them to tear, and when you want them to tear, they don't. So, still going to use a little bit my scissors and cut off the excess, even though I can see through the tape and there is plenty of room. I might as well be a little more precise down around here, maybe. There we go. Like I said, if there's a little gap from the splattering, it's no big deal because I will be able to fix it with some paint and a paintbrush later. But here, for example, there's way too much here. This is getting a little carried away here. There we go. That should do it. So maybe I'll bring in the camera a little closer. There you go. So I can't help it. I do have to try to be a little more precise. There we go. Okay, that's all covered. Very good. Get a little more of this tape. There we go. That's fine. I'm so used to most of this masking on larger surfaces. Like for example, when we mask the frame, but on something this size, it's quite small, so it's not that complicated, really. So I am going to get 2 sheets of paper that we can work together. Okay. I thought I had a better pair of scissors than those cheap IKEA ones. IKEA, I guess, in English. Oh, so this is going to work out just perfect. I'm going to just pencil this out first. So I would just pencil this circle out. Oops. Guess I could get it a little tighter there. I don't know, something like that maybe. So I'm going to just cut this a little bit wider than my drawing. There we go. And in fact, the part that I want is this part right here. So, and I do want to go in. I don't want my splattering to go right to the edge. So I'm going to put the newspaper in just a little bit on the inside of that. So I did screw up as I was cutting this circle out, but no big deal. Let's get the tape. It's like painter's tape. Really not my favorite, I must say. So how are we doing here? Are we covering enough on the inside? Yes, I guess we are. Okay. And it is the inside edge that I want to protect, so I'll put some more tape there. Yeah, didn't do a very good job. Didn't think this out, I must admit. No big deal, really. Just take a few minutes longer. But then again, this is going to be a short stream because once I start splattering, there's nothing left to do. So I do want to make sure none of the splattering gets on our outer piece. So okay, is there any way I can use this? Not really, except for the lower part. There we go, that part here we want. There we go. And a little bit of tape. That absolutely doesn't tear where you want it to. Typical. There we go. So this is pretty easy, I would think. What do I want to do? How do I want to do this? Just want to cut off a little half moon here. Something like that. Okay. So let's get this over here. We will adjust the whole thing again by cutting out the section we don't need. I am brain dead today. I almost didn't come in. Almost didn't come in. Okay, that looks good right there. Let's just tape this up. Very good. And that looks pretty good too. Let me just get my scissors out of the water. Okay, this is kind of the important side. There we go. Okay, now I can just add a little more tape to make sure none of the splattering gets underneath. Hey, Jalil, how are you? Good, man. So there we go. Yep. We will see. On verra. Ouais. Si tu crois que je vais t'en faire une plus petite pour que tu m'insultes, tu rêves. Tu me l'as fait une fois. Tu m'as fait le coup une fois, pas deux, hein. De Dieu. Okay. Maybe just two more pieces of tape and we're all ready. Get this going. Very good. So let's get that there and right here. Okay, so now let's get this ready to put on the floor. I'll pull out all the staples. Ouais. Non, j'ai éclaboussé de la peinture turquoise. Écoute, j'espère. Ça sera la surprise. Déjà, tout, il a évolué comme je m'attendais pas du tout. Donc, voilà, c'est la surprise. Ben, là, oui, oui, ça pourrait, pourquoi pas. Bon, hop, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ah, one more here. Ok. Donc, on va s'organiser quand même. Ça, j'ai pas besoin, je vais le foutre là. Oui, ils sont en train de faire là-haut, là, finalement. Ah ouais, il était temps. So, all right, I'm going to pull this back. Bring the camera over here. And I'll lower it because that's where it's going to go, the canvas. But first of all, before I start pulling this down on the ground and then finishing by covering this section up, I'm going to get the paint ready because I'm not going to be able to walk very well with the canvas on the ground. So we are going to do that. So I was thinking something like a turquoise. So when I do my splattering, I usually like doing a 3-tone dark, medium, and light on top of each other, or maybe sometimes top, light, with just a thin line of black. I don't know. We'll have to see as it goes. So for that, we're going to need a little bigger, different kind of a palette. This will be fine, I guess. I'll get this out of the way, this out of the way. Okay, so let's get this together. Well, in fact, there isn't that much of a surface. And I want to keep these streaks as tight as possible to each other. So I don't want it to be too liquidish, but yet to have the right thing, you do need a good quantity. So I'm not going to play cheapskate like usual. For this, I am going to put quite a bit of paint in here. Now, finding the right brush to do the splattering is going to be important as well. Of course, the wider the brush, the bigger the splatters, like here. We want to keep things kind of tight, so I am going to have to find the right brush, which I shall do right now. So it could be something like this, or something like this, maybe. So I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to use. I'll show you my two choices. Kind of this one here, which is not very wide. And if I use it like this rather than like this, it should be nice and thin. And then I have this one, which is just about as wide as the other one, but a little longer, which means that maybe the paint will splatter a little better. So maybe I'll try this one first, and we will mix the turquoise and water with this brush. And by finding the right texture, I should be able to see if this is going to be the right kind of brush or not. So we're going to do that together. I am going to put the other brush to soak as well as this one. I am going to bring the water over here where we will do the mixing together. So there's my little jar of water. I'll get this brush ready. We're going to have to do this in several stages, of course. First the dark turquoise and then the lighter one. So let's go back here and do the mixing together right here. So obviously you don't have to be a genius to do this. Just mix water and the paint and just try to get that right texture. Obviously we can't put 3 coats or whatever like we do with a paintbrush, so we want to make sure this is nice and opaque. And usually I do a test drive on the ground to make sure it's going to splatter the way I want it to, which is what I'm going to do right now. And like that I can tell if I have to add more paint or more water. So let's do that right over here alongside the wall where it won't step in it. Okay. Well, it might work. I'd rather it be too thin than too thick. So there it was a little thin, but maybe if I just load up the paintbrush more, it will work out. So we have this now. I'm going to put this aside right here. And I am going to step back and think things out just for a few seconds. I'll bring this camera back up. All right. So I'm going to bring this down, move it away from the wall, cover that thing up, come over. Okay. Just want to make sure I think things out, as I just said. So let's do that. So I'm gonna bring this here. Nothing in the way. Okay. There we go. Very good. Just maybe pull this so I can walk around it. Though everything is going to happen right here. I don't have to go all the way around. So I guess that wasn't the smartest idea. I'll just pull this back towards the wall a little bit. There we go. Now I do have some drop cloths. Some drop cloths right here that I'm going to cover the side of the canvas. I don't have to waste newspaper. There we go, just like that. I have another sheet over here, which I kind of kept for rags. And I'll cover this side over as well. And then the rest I just can throw down some newspapers. Here, I can even walk on my painting. Put the newspaper underneath. There we go. Put some newspaper underneath here as well. There, everything is protected. Maybe I'll add just a little bit of, there we go, some tape on that last little piece of paper that I put down here, just to make sure that no splatter sneaks underneath and gets on the red part of the painting. So, there we go, we're all ready. A little swig of water for the painter. I'll zoom in this guy so we can really see what's going on. Of course, it's at an angle, so it's not going to be that, it's going to be a little distorted, but okay, so I'm just going to add a tad of water on the brush, and I'm going to rework one last time. I'm just going to rework the paint one last time, make sure the brush is nicely loaded up. Again, this is just going to be the first of 2 or 3 passes. Okay, so let's try this. There we go. For the first pass, that is going to be just enough. Perfect. Now I will add again. I'm going to come back. I will switch over to here for a second. I will pull camera number 2 back. And I will switch over to camera number 2 as we prepare our next batch of paint. So again, a little bit of this turquoise. There we go. I'm going to rinse off my knife because I am going to have to use it to get some white paint this time. So let's clean off the tools. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Now let's get that white paint and just make this turquoise a little bit lighter. There we go. Just maybe a little tad more. Okay, maybe I'm going to mix in this first batch before I add a little more white. So we're going to do this again together. Okay, I can see that the white is automatically overpowered by the turquoise. So I can add more white without having to worry of it being too light. And actually, I have to add a lot more white, apparently, because I'm not sure I'm going to want to put 3 coats. It's such a small surface area that 3 coats might be just a little too much. I might just go with 2 coats and then eventually add just a thin line of black splattering on top of it. I usually do that because that little black line kind of just gives a third dimensionality to the splattering. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to add a little water. So this looks kind of nice. Now I'm going to take off the excess paint because I can see I would get into trouble very quickly if I have too much. Okay, this looks like just right. So let us go back to our painting here. I'll bring that back. Okay, so this looks great, this looks great, and I think I would love to have just a tiny one right there. Let's hope that the forces of nature are with me on this. There we go. Okay, I like that. Now, I am going to do something that I don't do very often, or I must say I never do, but I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to get some bunch of water on this rag, and I am going to just erase these 2 dots right here that I don't like. Let's dry off the paint around it. There we go. Get a clean, dry area right here. There we go. Very good. Okay. So I got that done. Now I'm going to try to get that black that little thin black line that I said I would like to do. So I'm going to get that out right now. Get another palette. And for some reason I am speeding my brains off. I see no reason why. There is no rush in anything I'm doing. Because once this is done, we're done for the day. So it must be linked to my drinking of yesterday and my hangover of today. Okay. And again, I can't be too cheap on this. I have to get the right amount. That should do it. And that brush that I was going to use for the turquoise, well, I'll just use it for the black. Hopefully it will work. Again, I don't want to overwhelm this. So I'm just going to come back over here and we are going to, I'll just pull, well, no. I'll zoom in this camera and I'll pull the other one back. There we go. And we can just work this out until we have the right creamy texture that we like, and that is ideal for splattering paint. Okay, just want to make sure my brush is like soaked in this black paint completely. There we go. And like earlier, I'm going to go to that wall and I'm going to do a little tryout back there and see how that works out. And it's a good thing I did that because it's not working out at all the way I want it to. So I'm going to get rid of this brush. I'm going to pull out that turquoise brush. I'm going to clean it off and I'm going to use that one. See what that does for us. Okay, let's work this in the black paint again. I can only assume it's going to work this time. And just to be sure, I am going to add a little more black paint. Now, I'm not going to, it would be a shame to be really picky and stingy and not get the effect that we're looking for, which would like upset me towards the whole painting. Because that's the way I roll, man. There is a section of the painting that doesn't pleases me. Well, no matter what I do on that painting, I will be disappointed till the very bitter end. And so far I enjoy this painting. I like it. I was a little nervous because we did try a lot of new stuff on this painting. Never did these motifs before. And that first day, last Monday or last week? I can't remember. Probably last week. We wasted a whole day because everything we tried screwed up and we had to cover the whole thing over. So that's the way it goes. So let's go back to here and I'm going to try this again on the ground. Yes, there we go. Okay, much better. So let's try this. I'm going to come back here, take the centerpiece. I'm going to move the camera back So we can, there we go. All right, let's hope that everything is on our side. There we go. Just like that. No more. One more splatter would screw it all up. So there we go. Very good. So we can't let the tape dry with the paint. Otherwise, I'll never get the tape off. So we got to do that right now. So let me get these off first. There we go. And carefully, we're going to get rid of the newspapers. Get rid of that first. Let's work our way around. There we go. Very good. Now let's work on this centerpiece. Very good. All right. Drop some water here, so I might as well soak it up. And there's a little bit of tape right here. Very good. Now I am going to use my paintbrush. So what is going on here? Nothing. Okay, good. Okay. Just going to wait here a second. I am going to get the darker turquoise. And another brush. Where are you, my guys? I guess this will work just fine. We'll just start with the darker turquoise. And like I mentioned, we'll just bring everything in. What the fuck? So what is going on here? Something is starting to fuck me up here. Let's get this water here. Now, is it because I'm putting my hand in here? I don't know. Okay. There's a little bit of turquoise right here, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to have that black band all the way around it. So, let's get back to fixing up our little details. Guarantee you nobody will ever notice. There we go. There we go. I'll just do the darker ones first. There's going to be a black outline on these guys anyways. I don't know why I'm being so picky. Force of habit, I guess. There we go. Get rid of that. Let's go with the lighter turquoise now. Just a little bit here. There we go. Very good. I am sweating bullets on this canvas. Fortunately, water does not harm dry paint. There we go. Okay. Just cheat a little bit right there. Right there. That looks good. A little bit of the darker one here. Okay. Let's try to get all this out of the way without causing any more damage. That away. Wipe off all my sweat on this painting. There we go. Whoops. There we go. So, I'm going to close everything up here. Hopefully I won't fall backwards on the painting. Okay, put this away. Get these paintbrushes in the water. Close up this guy. Okay, all the materials are in water. Okay, now I can actually step back myself and take a look at this painting. Okay, now by standing back, of course, I can see one or two little things I need to fix, and I'm going to do that right now. I could wait till it's dry and do it tomorrow, but what the heck. I'm just going to add just a little bit of black right here. Maybe just cheat a little bit and have it come down like that. Okay. All right. I like it. I know there's going to be flowers on top of that, so there's no point of freaking out over certain things. I can always hide with my flowers whatever I see tomorrow that I consider screwed up. So, I'm going to wipe off the sweat off my face. Jeez, thank God I didn't do this like a month ago. No paint on my face, that's a miracle. Okay, my friends, well, I think this concludes basically today's stream. I mean, there's nothing I can do until that is dry. So tomorrow is Friday, and we will try to finish the centerpiece at least, get those flowers on there, and then maybe start the first coat of our person that's in the middle, so that next Monday we can tackle the frame and hopefully eventually finish off this guy. So once again, I want to thank you for joining me today. I know it's been a relatively short stream, an hour, but whatever. And I hope you'll join me tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll continue on this baby. And until tomorrow, I'll say, hope you have a great day. I'll leave you like usual with my schedule and by saying, ciao mes amis.